Great. So thanks everybody for joining tonight. Sharon and I are really excited because whatever we're going to manifest tonight on our crystal grids, there's a lot of powerful energy around. So be prepared for whatever requests you put in for the universe. I would probably think they're going to happen because today is obviously solar eclipse day and new moon. So solar eclipses are all about letting things go that no longer serve you. And new moons, as we all probably all know, are all about new beginnings and intentions. So there's that energy around today. But then we've got the Beltane energy. It's Beltane tomorrow. Some people celebrate tonight. There's amazing energies that come with that. They're like earth energies.
Sorry, can I just ask what's Beltane?
Yeah, it's a pagan celebration.
Right, okay.
To celebrate the midpoint, I think, between spring equinox and summer solstice.
It celebrates the union. It's the goddess with the green man, and she gets pregnant tonight, and then we have the abundant summer birth from that. And
wow, brilliant.
Celtic's about to celebrate from the evening through to the following evening, so it starts tonight, like now.
Yeah, I've got a
goes
friend
right
who
through
can't
to
make
tomorrow.
it.
Yeah, so
a
Thank
party.
you.
That's okay. I celebrate it, so.
I was going to ask you, Kaylee, because I know you do all things like that. So that energy makes it potent for manifesting. But then I found out as well today, Venus and Jupiter align together in the sign of Pisces. So Venus is love and Jupiter is abundance. So it's crazy. Seriously, just watch all your requests come in that we're going to put in tonight. Venus is all about love, pleasure, luxury and romance. Jupiter's all about growth, expansion, healing, prosperity, good fortune and miracles. So seriously, really excited about this. What we're going to do first then tonight is a little exercise to get us in the mindset of abundance. Then I'm going to talk about manifesting numbers. And then we're going to hand over to Sharon, who's with us tonight, and she's going to actually show us how to create the crystal grid. I've just realised we haven't done, Sharon and I haven't introduced us. I think most of you know me. I'm Rebecca from Libra Light. Most of you have had readings with me or done my courses. I call myself a spiritual alchemist because if you read my story on my website, in the past, there has been quite a bit of, how shall I put it, like upheaval with my life, probably up until the age of 30. And I use that kind of shadow side of me to help other people. That's the easiest way that I can put it into words. So I run these monthly webinars with Sharon. I'm an Akashic Records practitioner, so I do readings around Akashic Records. And yeah, that's me. And I'll just let Sharon introduce herself.
Hi.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So I'm Sharon. I kind of started my spiritual journey just before lockdown and the pandemic began. So I was already starting to question certain things. And for me, that came at actually a good time because it was just you in your home with your family, not focused on anything else. And I just went through so many rabbit holes, and it was like I was literally a sponge. I feel like I hadn't used my brain or like really woken up until I was just interested in everything. Tarot, oracle cards, crystals, Reiki, like it just all came flooding in at the same time. So I'm a Yuzuri Reiki master. I love doing distance Reiki sessions. I do obviously sessions for my family at home, but in terms of clients, I do mainly distance sessions. And I qualified as a crystal energy guide with Kyle Gray. Yeah, I don't only read tarot for literally just for myself and maybe some girlfriends, and that's it. But yeah, I just love all things spirituality and learning more all the time. It's just yeah, really is what drives me, and it's something that I would love to do as a full-time career. I do have a really good job and an amazing job, but my heart is just not in it anymore. So that's what I'm manifesting today, which when I make my grid, you'll all see me writing it down and thanking the universe. So yeah, that's me.
And Sharon and I have never met, but we've just got this connection. I saw Sharon being interviewed on an Instagram live by another friend, Claire. And ever since then, I've got all the crystals from her. And I just love Sharon's energy, and I love working with her. And I think she's a wonderful, beautiful soul. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot more work with you, Sharon. And one day we will meet in
We
the
will.
flesh.
Yeah, the 3D.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was meant to put that slide up when we talked about that. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the agenda. We'll be finishing hopefully at 8. 7:45 when the solar eclipse actually starts. That's when we're going to actually do a little activation, straight meditation for our grids, because that's when the energy is going to be the most powerful. So we're just going to do an abundance exercise. I'm going to speak. What I'd like you all to do is close your eyes, and if possible, stand up if you can, because what we're going to do is we're going to imagine a circle on the floor, and we're going to step into that circle. So all it's going to require is you standing up and taking one step forward into a circle. Don't worry, I'm not getting you doing aerobics or anything like that. So I'm going to speak, and it's going to be about 5-10 minutes, that's all. And this is an abundance exercise. And this will be in the PDF that you get afterwards, so you can repeat this whenever you want. So I want you to stand in a relaxed posture. If it makes you feel more comfortable, you can turn your cameras off, no problem. And just close your eyes and breathe deeply a few times. So a few deep breaths in. Letting your mind go back to a time when you felt abundant. So stepping back into that experience and experiencing it fully again now in this moment. So what were you seeing at that time? And what were you saying to yourself? And just feeling those feelings again as that abundance moves through your body. So if you're finding yourself challenged to bring back to your body this abundance state, or to remember a time when you had abundance, ask yourself now, where in my life do I have abundance? It's not necessarily financial things, it could be health, the wonderful family you have, your friends, your career. So when you've thought about that, where in your body are you feeling that abundance? And what does it feel like when you feel it? So how do you know you're feeling abundant? And if you're still struggling with feeling abundance, imagine stepping into the shoes of someone you admire who is abundant, and feel those feelings of abundance washing over you. So as you're beginning now to experience the feelings around abundance, try and remain in that state as long as possible. And now imagine that there's a coloured circle of energy on the floor in front of you. So still keep your eyes closed. You're just going to imagine this circle on the floor in front of you. Now, what colour is your circle of energy? Which colour reflects abundance for you? And imagine that circle now glowing with that colour. Does your circle also have a sound that indicates how powerful it is? So it might be a hum. So listen for a moment, see if there is a sound with your circle. But now focusing again on that abundance feeling. And when you feel that you've got that abundance feeling and it's at its peak, I want you to step forward. If you need to open your eyes, do so, but just step forward into that circle when you feel your abundance is at its peak. And then feel when you step into this circle how it magnifies that abundance feeling for you. So I've got goosebumps. So this circle is now magnifying that feeling for you. So imagine it's filling you up, penetrating every pore, every cell, every tissue, every muscle, every organ in your body, and it's enveloping every single part of you. And breathe deeply and inhale this power through your nose. Then exhale when you feel you need to. And just continue in this way for a moment. We're breathing in the energy of this circle. The colour of the circle is enveloping us. And you're now standing in your abundance circle. Feeling this abundance through your fingers and toes and all through your body until you've totally integrated this state of abundance. And when you've done that, now step outside of your circle. So we're leaving those feelings of abundance now inside the circle, which sounds a bit weird, but go with me. We're leaving them in the circle. We're stepping out of it. And now I want you to think about something you want to create in your life. So this might be the things that you're going to request later to the universe. It might be the things that you've thought about that you want to manifest today. So it could be new business, walking down the aisle with your partner, seeing your bank account with large sums of money. What is it? What is it that you want to create? So as soon as you've got those visual cues in your mind, I want you to step back into your circle. And as you step into it, I want you to feel so confident that these things you want to create are actually going to happen. It's going to take place. And experience a total sense of abundance around this desired situation or the thing you want to create. It's going to happen. You're in your circle. Now it gets a bit like the okie dokie, so step outside of your circle again. Leaving your feelings inside the circle. Outside of it, think again about the things you want to create. Then you might find now, with just the thought of the thing that you want to create, that your abundance feelings come back and you're not even in your circle. So what we're doing now is reprogramming ourselves. You see how you reprogram yourself with your thoughts. So what we're doing is teaching you how to anchor yourself to your choice of state whenever you want to. Okay. What we'll do now is just gently come out of this abundance exercise. Take your time opening your eyes and just coming back to this webinar, and when you're ready, sitting down. But what I want to say about that circle is you don't just have to use that circle for abundance. I've used it before on my courses. You can use it for confidence. So say if you've got to do a presentation or you're running a course, swap abundance out for confidence and use that circle for that. I think it's an excellent exercise. And it's all about reprogramming your mind. Now, the reason we wanted to do that first of all is manifesting is all about mindset. You've got to be in the right mindset. It isn't just about lighting a candle and saging and putting your requests in. If you're not in the right mindset for manifesting, it's not going to work. Now, the right mindset is your birthright. You have a birthright of abundance. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. And I remember once one of my clients, when I was talking about the manifesting number, which I'm going to explain in a minute, said, "Isn't that greedy though, asking for 3 or 5 things at once?" No, it's not at all. Then back in the times of Atlantis and Lemuria, we could manifest anything we wanted just like that. I can't read the chat because I'm so far away. So can somebody read out what Pragna said?
Yeah. Sorry, it came up. She said, next time when I create the circle, if I see another color, does it matter? Does it have?
That's a good question. Straight away, I want to say no, because I guess it depends on how you feel on the day as to what color it is, because different colors represent different things. So today, maybe, in fact, what did everybody see? I know what color I associate with abundance.
I saw violet.
What did everyone else get?
I had like a yellowy green color that was also kind of shiny gold.
Oh, interesting.
Mine
Yeah,
was
it's yellow, purple.
Mine was also purple.
Oh, brilliant. I
No,
think for me,
mine went for me.
what, Brenda, sorry?
Oh, sorry. Red.
Red. Oh, we've all
Yeah.
got kind of different then. Mine's always yellow with abundance. But I suppose
Mine
Pragna,
was mine was blue.
blue. Ah, right.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters if your colour changes, because colour is attached to energy. So I suppose it depends on what colour you associate with confidence on the day you're doing it.
Thank
Does
you.
anyone agree? Has anybody got any other viewpoint on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I saw gold.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, color is our energy. It's what we need in that moment, isn't it? It's what we.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Metatron is saying to me, obviously I did the colour healing course with Metatron, and he's like, yeah, duh, of course it doesn't matter what the colour is. Okay, thank you. So manifesting numbers. So a lot of you already know yours because you've had readings with me, and I've got them written down here in case you've forgotten. But I'll just explain for others what the manifesting number is. So when you have an Akashic record with me, I dowse what your manifesting number is, and it can be between 0 and 10. And what it means is that number that you get is how many things you should manifest for when you're putting a request into the universe. Now, the reason for using that number is it means that you're going to be more successful. So I'm a 3, and that means, so tonight I'm going to be requesting 3 things, and I've been doing this since I learnt my number in November, and I can't tell you how successful it's been. So I always have 3 things on the go. When one thing manifests, I swap it out and put another thing in. Now, you don't just have to apply this to put in manifesting requests into the universe. You can also apply it to other areas in your life. So Natasha, Cosmic Empress, who I did the Akashic Records training with, is a 1. And she decided to come off all social media platforms apart from one, YouTube. And from that day, she's been mega successful, and she's got 250,000 subscribers to a YouTube channel. And then another client's a 3 like me. She renovates houses. She's a 1, sorry. She was renovating 3, and she stopped and just worked on renovating 1 house, and it's been extremely successful since then. So you can use this number in other areas of your life. So just as a reminder for those that have a reading, and then those that haven't, I will dowse now, because I'm doing this now so that you can have, if you want to, by the way, you don't have to follow this rule, being bossy. You don't have to do this, but you might want to, once you know your number, have that amount of things ready for when we do the grid. So Sharon, you're a 4. Kaylee, you were a 2. Izzy, you were a 3. Is Leanne on? Don't think she is. No. Oh. No, she isn't. Okay, well, Leanne, if you're watching this recording, you're a 5. I'm a 3. Lady Ginna's a 5. And Brenda, you're a 4. So let's do Nat and Pragna and Lisa. I'm going to dowse live. We're in your Akashic records now, asking what your manifesting number is. I'm going to do Pragna first. Pragna, you're a 3. What's Nat? Nat, you're a 1. And we have Lisa. Let me know if I've forgotten anybody. What's Lisa? Lisa, you're a 3.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions on that? Is everybody okay with that? Okay. I'm going to hand over to Sharon then for the exciting bit.
Okay, so hopefully you can all see my grid, can't you? So I'm going to be talking about crystal grids. Crystal grids are such a massive spiritual topic. There are so many books, theories. There is just so much written about it. So what I'm going to do is try and give you like as much information as possible without bombarding you, and try to keep it as simple, joyful, easy, because it's supposed to be an enjoyable task. I don't want you to go away from here thinking, oh my God, that's so stressful. So you just want to like go with the flow, just feel your energy in the moment. It doesn't have to be something that takes forever to create. For me, the process of creating a crystal grid is the same as meditating. So sometimes I can't just sit and close my eyes and I've got too many thoughts and too many things going on. So I'll meditate on something that I want, something that I want to manifest, something I want to feel even. It just could be something really simple. And then I, because I've loved crystals and I have a nice little collection. So I would just look at them and I just intuitively just choose them, place them where I want. I don't think about it too much. And I want you all to know that that's okay, because, we see crystal grids on social media and there's like 12 of the same crystal and there's like 10 crystals and you think, oh my God, I can't do that. I'm not investing that much money in buying all these different crystals. So I just want to give you the basics of creating amazing crystal grids that will mean something to you because you've created them and you've set their intention. And basically what they are is a gathering of crystals. So they're placed in a geometric pattern for a focused intention around one central crystal. So your central crystal in the middle is the intention. And it's supposed to be, for me, it's a really relaxing and therapeutic process. I just love coming into my space, being with my crystals, deciding what I want, and then putting it all together. So just let the energy flow and enjoy the process of creation. And just before I get into it, I just want everybody to know that like you're the magic, you're the limitless, powerful being, and the crystals and the grid, they're your tools. They're to help you think about your intentions, help you to focus and help you to bring it all in. And because they can stay put for a little while, it just reminds you of that intention you've set. And like Rebecca said, you know, you've got 4 things manifesting at the same time. So if one of them is on a grid, you'll always remember, right, I still have that going. Let me come back to the grid. Let me activate it. Let me take some, you know, inspired action and divine action to help that manifest. You know, it's not that, you know, like Rebecca said, it's not just a one-off, you know, you've saged and you cleanse the space and you sat down, you create the grid and that's it, it's going to happen. You need to put in the work. You do obviously need to surrender to the universe. So it's just a really fine balance, but it's having that acceptance that this is going to happen. If it's in your highest good, it is going to manifest. So you're the one that's setting the intentions, and the crystals are there to help you to focus, to take those divine actions which will help your intentions come into reality. So number 1, first of all, just create sacred space. This doesn't need to take forever. I have 3 kids and sometimes I have 10 minutes to myself to just like get upstairs and get away and just quickly do something for myself. So if you've cleansed and charged your crystals already, that's amazing. If you haven't, you can literally use sound. Like I have a bell, I just bought this from Amazon. It's not like a spiritual sound bell or anything like that, it's just a regular bell. So I'll just come in, I like to do sound all over my crystals and thank the sound for cleansing them. And as I practice Reiki, I might just do some Reiki healing quickly just to charge them and bring them up to their highest vibrations. But that's another rabbit hole of cleansing and charging crystals. But what I want to say, the most simple, basic way, you don't need any tools, you don't need anything, is to use light, just to do a quick light meditation. So if I'm holding a crystal and I envision light coming down from source into the crystal, and I thank the light for cleansing my crystal of all lower energetic frequencies, and so it is. So once I've done that quick 30-second visualization, that's it, that's all I need. And also in terms of charging, I mean, you know, crystals have come from Mother Earth and they were constantly charged when they were in the earth. So you can do another quick light meditation and see that light coming up from the earth into your crystal. And then you thank the light. So thank you, light, for charging my crystal to its fullest and highest vibration. And so it is. So yeah, we're just creating quick sacred space. If you have time, and of course, put music on, light a candle and light incense. I love just doing it all properly, but sometimes we don't have time. So don't feel like I can't do this quickly. And then the main thing, this is where you do want to take as much time as you have, is to set your intention. So your intention is the most critical step in building your crystal grid. And keep it really clear and simple. Just keep it really focused, because we're more likely to take inspired action when we focus on one small thing at a time. Or does it have to be one intention? I would say yes. So if I'm creating a crystal grid, I like to keep it on for one intention. And I mean, I can create more for another intention, but I like to just focus on one thing. And then when that's manifested or those feelings have come in, then that's fine. I'll deactivate it and I'll create another one. But if you feel called to create it for lots of different things, then you go with the flow and do what suits you. As long as it sits right with you and it sits right in your gut, then you know there's no one else can tell you. You're never doing anything wrong when you're just working with your own intention. So grids can be used for literally anything. You can use them for healing. You can use them to bring in abundance, money, any sort of manifestations, literally even feelings. If you just want to feel confident or joy or anything like that, you can even use them for other people. So I use them a lot when I do distance Reiki healing. So if I've spoken to somebody on the phone and they've told me what they want the Reiki session to focus on, before I start the Reiki, it helps me to create a crystal grid. So I know what their focus is and what their intention is. And I know all the feelings and the vibrations and the energies that they need to feel for this to manifest. So I'll put all those crystals down, create a grid. And then as I'm doing the Reiki, it's my reminder when I look back at the grid for what I'm doing for this person. What is the specific thing that they need? I mean, Reiki is a universal life force energy. It knows where it needs to go, but you can focus it and you can direct it to that person. But I just want to say, if you're doing it for someone else, make sure you have the permission. You know, say somebody's got a bad back and you want to make a healing grid for them, which is fine. But when you set the intention, I would always say for their highest good. If it's supposed to be healed for them in that moment, for their highest good, it will be. You know, the back pain might be a message for them to, you know, slow down and do something. You don't want to take that lesson onto yourself. You know, when you need to protect yourself and protect your energy first. So crystal grids are amazing for other people. Just make sure you have the permission and make sure it's always for the highest good for yourself and for others as well. So in terms of your intention, what I like to do is quickly write something. So I would just sit, I'll come into my space and it's all cleansed and charged and as sacred as I can make it in that moment. And then I would just close my eyes and do a similar meditation to what we've just done. Just visualize what you want. Imagine it on all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like, how does this thing make you feel once it's happened? What can you see? What can you smell? What can you hear? As much detail into this visualization as you can. Like, see the golden light coming into this situation and into your intention. Because you want it to feel as if it's already happened. So you want to be in that zone where this is happening, this is my life, and this is how I feel, and this is how amazing it is. And then once you've done that meditation, you can write your statements. It's like writing an I am statement. So I don't know if people are familiar with that, but it's writing it an affirmative statement. So from an attitude of gratitude for being thankful. So you're writing it in a way that it's already happened. So you're like thanking the universe for giving you this manifestation, rather than you writing that you're asking for it, because you really need to believe that if this is in your highest good, it will manifest, it will come true, and it will be your reality. So you need to feel deserving of whatever it is you're calling in.
Can I just ask you something that, Sharon?
Yeah.
So I've written get back in control of eating. So should that be I am in control of my eating then?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
So it's really good to start with I am, because it just helps you to get into that way of thinking when you start writing from that space. Okay. And all like, so you would write, I am in control of my eating for my highest good, and so it is. Okay. So it's done, you thank the universe for it, and yeah. So that's like, you want the highest good, that's, you know, spiritual law. You don't want to remove any lessons that you may still have to learn. So yeah, I would always, so if I was writing my I am statement for my business, I would write something like, I am running a successful spiritual business. I'm bringing in abundance to myself and others through miraculous Reiki healing for my highest good, and so it is. So I would write that on my paper, and I'd put that in the middle of my grid, which will go, my central crystal will go on top of that. So then, because having that attitude of gratitude, it raises your vibrations. And I think Rebecca said this already, but it's raising your vibrations is like a way of life. So it's not something you've just done for 5 or 10 minutes. It's just literally your core being is, you know, doing good and like not gossiping and not eating junk, and all of the different things come together. So the more you raise your vibrations, like the more open you are to receive all the manifestations that you want. So yeah.
Pragna's
Can I just, oh, sorry.
Sorry, Kayla, you go ahead.
Do you have to specify that it harms no one on its way to you as well?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I would. I've never thought of that.
It's just, obviously I do spell work, and I'm just wondering if
Yeah.
it's the same sort of thing where you don't want that bad karma attached to that coming towards you. So would that be the same with manifesting in this
Yeah.
way as well? Okay.
Yeah, there was no harm in writing that. I like that. What did you say again, Kaylee? There's no harm to others.
Harming on its way to me. Yeah, it doesn't harm anybody on their way
No.
to, yeah. Harming none on its way.
Yeah,
Okay. And
so I'm writing it down.
Pragna's just asked, does it have to be one intention? I think that's what it said.
Oh yeah, so I saw that. So I did say I like to do one, but you go with your gut, and you can do as many intentions as you want. You know, just write all your I am statements clearly, or whatever your manifesting number is. The only reason I like to do one is because I'm really into my crystals, and they're like really specific to me. So I really go in deep and think about what I want for that specific intention to come in. But yeah, you can definitely write more than one intention. So the
Is
intention,
anybody else hearing feedback off Sharon, or is it just me?
Just you.
Just me, it's my new headset. Sorry, Sharon, carry on.
okay, no problem. Okay, and then the third step is we want to select the shape of our grid. Again, oh my God, like every single part of this process, you could just go on a tangent and just go and start doing so much research. But basically, the geometric shape will help bring in specific energies. So I've got a flower of life here. And this is basically the key to any sacred geometry. So if you don't have one of these, like you can literally draw, you can use a cup and you can draw it. There's 19 intertwining circles. And this shape is believed to contain the blueprint of the universe. So it's seen repeatedly in nature, snowflakes, crystals, flowers. So if you're not sure which shape to use, the flower of life is always an amazing shape to use for manifesting. Or you can use just basic shapes. Square. A square is very has the energies of being stable, grounded, safety, protection, self-confidence. So if you wanted to make a grid to like protect your home and the energies in your home, just do a basic square. I always use a triangle if I'm doing Reiki for someone that just needs to like come together. I feel like a triangle brings like the mind, body, and spirit back into alignment. It also is very inspiring for creativity and peace. You could, a 5-pointed star is really draws in the elements: earth, air, fire, water, space. So the 5 elements come into that. Like when a human stands out with their arms and legs out, you know, we make a 5-pointed star. A hexagram is a 6-pointed star, which is very symmetrical. So that's more of the energy of like as above, so below. So it really unites spiritual and physical worlds. So that's a really good shape to use as well for crystal grids, is because you're bringing in energies that you want in this physical world. And it's really good if you're feeling stressed or anxious. So crystal grids are really good to get rid of anxiety and bring in like more positive feelings. Like there's Vesica Pisces, which is basically 2 circles like overlapped, and you've got this space in the middle. I think that's a really good one to use for relationships.
I'd never heard of that. I'd never heard of
Yeah.
that till I read your notes.
Oh really? Yeah, so it's just
That's new on
basically
me.
two circles.
Yeah.
And I just, that, so if you want to bring things together and you're creating this beautiful harmony in the middle, so it's amazing for relationships. So yeah, that's when I would use that. And even just a circle is so simple, but it's actually a really powerful shape. It has the energies of unity, oneness, universal support and connection. So you don't need to have a board if you don't have a board. I mean, there's lots of sellers out there. You know, you can go on Etsy, Amazon, or anything, and you know, you can buy wooden boards or a slate or anything like that. You can draw the shape out, which is what I used to do all the time. I used to literally just get an A4 paper, just draw the shape that I wanted, or you can just imagine it in your mind. If you're, using a square or triangle, you don't need it drawn out for you. So it's just the intention that you want to use. And a tip that I would give to everyone is use a tray. So I always make my crystal grids on a tray, because once they're created, once they're made, you don't want to move them. So when they're on a tray, you can still clean, you can place them in a different part of the house, you can keep them away from your kids, your pets. So yeah, I always place mine on trays, and like everyone in my family has learned not to touch my trays because they end up in different rooms of the house sometimes. So what I'm going to do is create my grid. So I've got the flower of life, and I'm going to choose a square shape to create my grid, because I'm bringing in a new business. So I want that to make me feel stable, secure, safe, protected, and grounded, that it's giving me enough, it's giving me what I need. And then you want to select your central crystal. So again, just use your intuition. So you're thinking about your intention, like what is that main feeling? What is that main energy that you want to bring in? The formation of the crystal doesn't matter, by the way, because if you start researching this, there'll be spiritual teachers out there so that has to be a sphere, because a sphere emits, all the energies in harmony, and it goes all the way around, which is true. But that doesn't mean if it's not a sphere, it's not going to work. You can use a cluster, you can use the tiniest tumblestone, whatever. The crystals are really powerful. Like I see crystals as medicine, like, you can connect with the crystal spirits. So it's what that crystal brings in for you and how it makes you feel. I'm going to use a tiger's eye in the middle of mine, because for me, tiger's eye is really high vibrational. This is gold tiger's eye. Oh, and I've just remembered I visualized gold in my circle. So this is very, like, this is one of those crystals that give you courage. I even like, I'm wearing a bracelet as well. I never planned that. And I'm using a rough tiger's eye just because I love the energy of rough, raw crystals, just like as they've come out of the earth. That's just the way that I like it. So tiger's eye gives us that courage, and it's related to the solar plexus chakra. So it's where we manifest from, and it kind of like brings in those dreams into reality. And so I'm going to place that tiger's eye in the middle. And as I placed it down, because it's all very intentional and it's like a very mindful activity, so I would thank my tiger's eye for giving me the courage to take a leap of faith. So that's why every crystal has a purpose for me, for why it's there and what energy it's going to bring in. So the tiger's eye will come in for me and give me courage just to take that leap that I need. And then you basically start building your grid, and you have fun with this. You just do it slowly, do it mindfully. As I did with the tiger's eye, you thank the crystal for bringing in that energy for you. You can meditate on that. And the surrounding crystals can be all different. Like I said before, we see these images of 10 of the same crystals all the way around, and they do look amazing. They look really beautiful, but it doesn't mean we need to go out and like spend loads of money and buy all these different crystals. So if I wanted love, any pink crystals that I had would be fine with me. They didn't have to be all the same. So what I would do, like if you're new to this and you're new to crystals, just think of the color wheel, and every color has a basic energy. So in the PDF document that you receive, I've got all the main colors in there, and they're kind of energetic vibrations. So if you're not sure which crystal to use, you can have a look at that list and just see how do you want to feel, and you pick one of the words, and whatever color that is, go with a crystal of that color. It doesn't matter which crystal you're using. And in Kyle Gray's energy guide course, I learned that when we're working with the chakras, each chakra, like the 7 main chakras, are all a different color. So if you're really wanting to activate those chakras, you use the colors of that chakra. But if you're wanting to send healing to that chakra, you would use colors from the opposite end of that spectrum. So for the root chakra, which is red, if I was activating my root, I would use lots of red crystals. But if I was wanting to bring in a bit more balance and harmony and healing to my root chakra, I'd use greens. So that's just something really cool to remember. And I've always done that, and I feel like it works amazingly for me. So just think about how a color makes you feel, how it affects your energy. Go with the flow, see what you need in that moment. And the PDF that you receive, I won't go through all the colors, but the PDF you receive has all the
should be on the
different,
next slide. I'm terrible
yeah,
tonight. There's the
all the
colours.
different, yeah, perfect. So you just use what you have. So I'm placing citrine. So I've got 4 little citrines. I love natural citrine because it's not been heat treated. It's just in its raw form. These are tumblestones. So I thank my citrine for bringing me joy as I build my business. So I want to create this reality, and I want to have fun and enjoy my life. And that's the point of me bringing it in. And as I said before, my shape that I have in my mind is a square. So I'll place my citrine into the square. So I thank the citrine. Citrine's like a really sunshine, that yellow, amazing, happy energy. And then I'm going to use rose quartz because I feel like you can't manifest anything without love, but that's just me. You don't have to have pink and rose quartz in your grid. So I thank the rose quartz for allowing my business to be based on foundation of divine healing, unconditional love towards myself, to all my clients, that my Reiki is full of love. And I'm going to use pyrite because I feel like pyrite is a really, really amazing crystal for bringing in abundance. I just find it so magical. I love the energy. And it's also known as fool's gold, which I love because I'm manifesting lots of positive vibrations coming into my life, which is taking my business full time. And then the next point, which there will be lots of discussion over, is when you add in the quartz points, which way to face them. So basically why we use them. So I always use clear quartz. I'll just show those in there. So I always use clear quartz, but that's just me and the way I am. It doesn't matter which color your quartz points are. You can use blue quartz, rose quartz, whatever you have. Golden healer quartz is fine. So for me, I feel like they're an essential part of the crystal grid because it helps really bring those energies in. Quartz is amazing at amplifying the energy. So I've got my intention, I've got all the other crystals and for what they're going to bring in for me. So the quartz is just going to amplify them, harmonize them, and bring them all together. I feel like when I create a crystal grid, I feel like they all sing and talk to each other. And then it looks amazing. So you can either face your points in or out. I would say just go with your gut and what you feel. I always face mine in. So I feel like I've got my mind, I've got my intention, and I want to bring all the energy into the middle of it. So, it's there on my piece of paper, and I just want to bring all that energy in. Some people use that same justification for facing them out because they say, if it was facing out, I want to draw the energy in from the universe and bring it into my attention. So whatever suits you, whatever sits right with you, just go with that. There will be so many different things if you Google it. So just you're setting the intention and as you place it. So I'm thanking the clear quartz for bringing in the highest light to manifest my intention of creating my amazingly healing Reiki business. And this is the next step you could skip. So if you were short on time, and this is perfectly fine and we're done. But if you want to make it look pretty, because I kind of see this as like creating art. I see it because it's so intentional, mindful. It's like a prayer. It's like having a physical prayer that's there in your home, that will always remind you of the intention that you set. So it's something that you want to admire. It's something you want to come back to daily if you can. So you can add anything personal to it. So like these, I've got some shells that I've collected with my little girl on the beach. So you can add some shells, you can add herbs, you can add, if I was making a protective grid, I would probably use salt because salt's a very protective and detoxifying energy. So you can just use your imagination. If you know, my kids always collect stones. We go for a walk and we come back with stones and twigs, but I love them, and feathers. We always have, you know, we've got all this natural stuff and they love it. So it's always, there's always something like that in the house, and it really personalizes and brings in that energy of you, your loved ones. So I've got some dried flowers. I've got, these are the roses that I put in like when I send out my orders. I just love the way they look. And I've got some rosemary, because for me, rosemary is very protective. So I'm going to use the rosemary to create that like square shape around my grid to bring in that protection and stability. Oh, too much rosemary here. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Like, that's my grid done. I feel like it's personal to me. You know, it really does look like a mandala, like in a physical mandala. It's like my intention in a physical form. So it's like very personal to you. So you don't need to be overcomplicated. Just trust your gut. Use your imagination. And then it comes to activating the grid. Again, there's so many things out there on how to activate it, and you must do it like this, and you must do it in a specific direction, but it's all about intention. I know I keep saying that, but literally that is the most important thing. So you can, in terms of what you use, you can use any sort of quartz wand. I usually use a Lemurian quartz wand that I have, which is
I've
the
got
same
that
one.
tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the same one I have when I do my Reiki. But if you don't have a quartz one, like this is a sodalite, and it's a point, that's fine. If you've got anything that's has a point to it, that's fine. And if you don't, use your finger. Like, honestly, it's about the intention, and I don't want you to feel when you go away from this that you need to go out and buy lots of stuff, because you really don't. So I'm using a double terminated quartz. This is opal aura quartz. So this is amazing because as you activate your grid, you visualize the light coming in from source and going into your grid. So when it's double terminated, it's amazing, but it doesn't have to be. So what I do personally is when I'm activating my grid, I go clockwise. So I link all the crystals together, and as I'm going, I'm re-thanking all the crystals for why they're there, what they're going to bring me. I'm saying my intention out loud, and I'm creating my square around it. So you're basically just like bringing in all the energies into your intention, and you're linking them all in together as well. And as you go, like you'll end up like just going in this circle, like creating this cone shape, and you do really feel the energies of this, like as you're going around. Like, it does actually feel really amazing, and you're visualizing the light coming in into your wand, and you're like, then you can, once you've got that visualization, you can visualize the light, then like making a web of all these crystals have come together, like they've all linked, and like going down into Mother Earth and like really rooting themselves into reality. At this point, I love to call in my spirit tribe, my angels, my guardian angel, my starseed family, like anyone, seriously, whoever's out there, please just give me some love and support, and like, let's make this happen. And if you're really, you know, calling on a particular angel, you can use their angel colors in your crystals to really bring their energy in. So if you were creating a healing grid, and you want to call in Archangel Raphael, you would, you know, add some more greens to it, just like really bring that energy in. And when you come back to your grid another day and you see those greens, immediately it will come to your mind, and it just makes the process easier. There's like some, you know, we all have our own prayers. Kyle Gray's Angel Prayers book I love. So any angels that you would particularly want to work in and bring in, he's got some beautiful prayers in there that you can use. So what I would do with this is, once I've activated it and I've thanked my spirit tribe for bringing this intention in, and then I'll leave it, and I will try to come back to it every day. And I know sometimes we can't always do that, but I will come back to it and I'll just give it a quick activation with my wand, and And when you've really done that first step of that visualization of what you want to manifest, when you come back to it, you will remember it like immediately. It's like when we just went into that circle, but when we're not in the circle, we can easily just tap into that energy of what we want to create and what we want to feel. So when you come back to your grid, it will come flooding back to you and it won't take as long. So it's just like literally can be a 2-minute thing. Just thank the grid, thank the crystals, thank your spirit team, you know, repeat your intention and just come back to it as often as you can. There's no rules on how long you need to keep it. There's spiritual teachers out there, so you have to keep a grid for 40 days. Like, I don't know what happens if you don't keep it for 40 days, but it's just how you feel. It might manifest itself in a week, or you might not want that intention. As you learn and you grow and you think, well, actually, I don't want to focus on that right now. I want to focus on something else, and that's okay. You know, our intentions will always change. Our goals will always change as well. So there's no set time. When you feel like it's done its job and you don't need it anymore, and you find like, oh my God, I didn't even go to that grid for about 2 weeks and it's just sitting there. You don't need it. It's fine. It's done its job. So you can then take it apart. And again, when you come to breaking it down, there's nothing wrong with literally just picking it up and taking it apart. Okay. But if you feel that's too harsh, with all, you know, the intentions that you set, you can do the same thing in the opposite direction. So I always go clockwise when I'm activating, so I can go anti-clockwise, thank the grid for doing its job and bringing that light to me, and then literally take it apart, cleanse and charge the crystals again. And that's it. It really, really doesn't have to be complicated. You just, you know, you close the magical space and you say thank you, and it's done its job. So that's what I do when I take my grid apart. And with the paper, with what you've written, so if you're the type of person that you like to kind of track your journey and you want to track like your goals and wishes, you can keep it. You can keep it in your journal. I'm more of a burn everything kind of person. So I like to burn it and release it when I feel like things are done. So sometimes I
like an arsonist.
yeah, so sometimes I feel like I accumulate a few things and I'm like, oh my God, I really need to do one of my rituals and just like let it all go and thank the universe for bringing it in for me. Or you can plant it, whatever you feel feels right for you. So I know there was a question, where would you keep the grid? Anywhere specific? No, nowhere specific. It just depends on you, your home, your lifestyle. Like I can't keep my grid anywhere like that's below like 3 feet because my kids will get it. So mine are always up high on a shelf or in a room that they don't really go in. So it's literally, yeah, anywhere. Ideally, if you have an altar in your home, that would be an amazing place to keep it, as long as it won't be disturbed. So I would suggest like in the, you know, or you have a meditation spot where you go, like any place where you feel it sits right. It's your home, and we all, you know, we all have kitchens, but we all use them differently. And we, you know, some people work in theirs and some people only cook, and some people don't go in their kitchen, they don't do anything. But so it's just like where you feel like it sits right for you in your home. There's no right or wrong. So yeah, you'll get a PDF with all like the basic steps of what I've done. I hope it wasn't complicated and stressful, because it really is supposed to be enjoyable and something for you to admire once you've created it. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, sorry. So you've done your altar for one intention. If you wanted to do 3 at the same time, so I've got 3 manifestations. If I wanted to do them at the same time, do I just put it under the same crystal, or do I do 3 separate crystals?
It's up to you. Can create 3 separate grids if you can, if you've got the space, if you've got the crystals. It would be amazing. But if you can't, I would write all 3 I am statements on that paper and keep it all under one grid.
Great, thank you.
I'm a 3 and I've written my 3 bits of paper here on a grid. And it was really funny because I usually use citrine and fool's gold and everything, and it's all about I want my business to do well. That's normally what I am. I don't know if you can see my grid. I just completely swapped my citrine out for moss agate and all greens and howlite, because I'm feeling a bit rubbish after all of the upheaval that I've gone through with moving and traveling. So all mine's about sleeping better, eating better. It's completely different this time that I've done it. And it's all my rose quartz and healing crystals. So when Sharon was talking, I just completely swapped out all the ones I thought I was going to use for the ones that I felt like using. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that is amazing. And the more you work with crystals and get to know crystals, you will start picking them up based on their physical properties. Like the list in the PDF is just like the color and the energy of that color, but it doesn't mean all blue crystals do the same thing. But if you're new to this, I just didn't want to make it complicated. So if you want to bring in like communication, use any blue crystals, it's fine. And then once you get to know them better and you work with them, you'll learn that lapis lazuli is actually different from sodalite, and you'll learn how it is and how it makes you feel. It's not necessarily what other people write about it. It'll just be like the energy that you get from that crystal and how it makes you feel.
Can I just ask another question? Sorry.
Yeah.
Which is not really related, but is related. Is in the past, I bought crystals and then forgotten what they are. I think, Rebecca, you mentioned there's an app that you can have on your phone that identifies crystals. Is that right?
Yeah, it's rock something. Rock. It might be rock identifier. Let me have a
Right.
look. It's brilliant and very accurate.
Yeah, because I've got so many crystals, but I've forgotten.
Yeah,
what.
rock identifier.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I checked how accurate it was by doing ones that I knew, and it got them all right.
Oh wow, I never heard of that.
The only thing is you have to pay after so many, which I didn't do.
Hopefully you'll know them by then. You just
Yeah.
like, I used to, but when I was new to it, I used to put little post-its under my
I
little
still do
Christmas
that.
pen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I-
I've done it with some, but when I've been away or something, kind of picked it up and I thought, I'll remember that, and I've got home and I haven't remembered it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? Because we've got a
Hi.
bit of. Oh, hi. Go ahead. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, sorry, I'm not on video. So this is for Sharon. I did a quick research a couple of weeks ago about manifestation grids, and like one person was talking about putting all your crystals on the grid, sort of in the intersections of the circle. And I was just wondering your opinion about different placements of crystals on grids, because I noticed yeah.
Did you mean like on the flower of life?
Yes,
point.
like I
Yes.
have this like I drew out the seed of life, and then the instructions were just to place your crystals, like you could have one in the center, but then in the intersections of the circles you would, in sort of like a very balanced sort of.
I totally agree with that. And like that is, if I had
have you done that
crystals,
before, or?
yeah, so
Sorry.
if I had small crystals, I would do that. But because
Okay.
for my intention in this moment and what I wanted to create, I wanted the energy of the flower of life, but I also wanted my square because I just wanted to feel that stability for my business. So I've used a really big chunk of tiger's eye, which means I can't fit any more on here. So sometimes you have to be practical, but you're absolutely right, because the last grid I created, I had really cute crystals and they were all on the points.
Okay.
And then I had smaller quartz points coming in around it. But yeah, that is right. That information isn't wrong, but it's all about your intention and how you feel like placing them. So just because I've got the energy of the flower of life and I'm happy with that, but if I wanted to kind of utilize that energy some more, then I would like place my crystals on it in the right spaces. But it's totally like, as long as you feel like it's powerful for you, then that's the main thing.
Right. And I guess my other question would be, like, I actually don't have that many crystals, so I only have one of each. I mean, I'll probably buy some more, but like, how important is it to sort of balance the crystals, like, you know, to have 4 or, you know, 2 on the opposite sides, or, you know, that kind of thing?
I would say not at all. Like really for
Yeah.
me,
Okay.
before I had this many crystals, I used to have one of each. So say I had my
Right.
flower of life and I had 12 crystals on all the points,
Mhm.
but they were all different. And for me,
Okay.
there was a reason that I was using them as well. So I was thanking that crystal for the energy that it was bringing in.
Right.
So yeah, you can have all of them to be completely different, and you're linking them in and you're activating them, and like you're creating that harmony between them. The
Right.
crystals themselves don't need to bring in that balance. It's you're activating the grid as a whole.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Great. Thank you.
We've still got 5 minutes before the eclipse starts, and I just wondered if Lady Ginny, it was all right to talk about an issue that you've got with manifesting, because I thought it'd be interesting to find out what everybody thought. Is that okay, Lady Ginny?
Yeah, sure. I was just thinking there as well. If you don't know what all the crystals mean, you can like breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth 3 times, find your center, and then you can choose whatever crystal it is that you want, and you can put it on your solar plexus, breathe deeply and sit with it for 5-10 minutes and just see what you get from that crystal, and that'll be how you connect with that crystal yourself, regardless of what anybody else says. So
Brilliant
that's like
idea.
a really good way to, that's how I, you know, connect with crystals. I know some of the meanings from websites and things like that, but I often, you know, it's like a library of stuff, isn't it? So if I'm unsure, that's what I do. So it's just a quick way of, if people are beginners and they're finding it overwhelming, you can just do that. I don't know if that was helpful to anyone. But my manifesting thing is, I manifest things and they get taken away. So I manifest them quite quickly, and then they get taken away.
So what do people think
wow,
about
that's-
that? I'm dead interested.
That's really interesting. I've never like heard that before, but I don't know. My gut tells me that you needed to wait. Like there's a reason that it's gone away. So maybe it wasn't the right time for it.
So
I don't know.
I'll give you an example. So there was a deck of cards that this is just one example, but there is quite a stream of them. There was a deck of cards that I wanted. I couldn't get it anywhere, gone out of print. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to manifest that. And as soon as I thought I'm going to have to manifest that, a link to a website came, and it was there. It was in stock. So I purchased the deck, and it was, you know, it was going to be mine. And then it got cancelled, and they said that they couldn't get it. And then from that point, literally, loads of other things have happened, like bonuses of work that I've been promised. And then they've gone, oh, I know that we said that you could have that, but now we're going to take it away.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, isn't it?
Can I ask
I
something?
know.
Do you
I don't know.
do you always when something's good wait for the other shoe to fall, the other shoe to fall, or the other foot to drop, or whatever,
Well,
and it happen?
I don't think that I do.
Because
I believe that I'm
the words
like
that you're using
deserving
now
of these
is
things, but
yeah.
at the same time it could be like subconscious. But I've done like loads of like work on that, and I didn't actually think it was a problem until it started happening, if that makes sense. So I never believed that that would happen until it started happening. Then I went to Rebecca like, why Why when I manifest something, does it then get taken away?
That's really
Has there
weird.
been anything that's stayed that you've manifested, or is it literally everything?
No, it all goes.
Wow.
Do you feel like deserving of like that it's your birthright, that it's your right to have these
Yeah, I
manifestations?
would preach that to people. I would absolutely preach that to people. I sit at work. I mean, I work with millionaires, and I sit at work and I say to the people, don't ever think that you aren't worthy of the money that they've got. You are worthy of the same amount of money, and anything that they got, don't ever think that you can't have it either. I sit there and I preach these things to people, you know, so it's really bizarre that it would get taken away from me.
Preaching it and believing it are two different things, though. Like, believing that for your actual self is different to
But
telling people all the time.
I'm one of these people, I don't like to be seen as a hypocrite, so if I didn't believe it myself, I wouldn't ever preach it to somebody else. I have to believe it, otherwise I would never say it, which is why I always look at like everything. So I'll read the books, I'll look at the colors, and then I go and I see how I feel about something. So I don't, it might be subconscious, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm not deserving of these things. I believe that I should be able to have them.
The only thing that comes to
I
mind-
don't even think that manifesting 5 things at one time is greedy. I think it's brilliant.
And you can, I know you could as well. That's the thing, you could.
Yeah.
It's not.
The only thing
you
that
couldn't.
comes to my mind is for your highest good. And
Yeah.
maybe it's
Oh yeah, do you say that?
saying that it's
Yeah.
this time it's not for your highest good.
Well, that could be it. I mean, I always do say it's for my highest good, and I always say, if I win, nobody else loses, as well. So I don't know. I don't know
Maybe
why
it's
they
just part
give
of
it.
your
I don't know why they
journey.
don't give it to me and
That's
then
what-
take it away. The only thing that I was thinking was maybe it's to learn me patience. It's the only thing that I can think, that it's to learn me patience, because I aren't a very patient person.
But then it would turn up slowly. It wouldn't turn up quickly.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's past life karma,
I was just going to say that, Kaylee.
a life lesson. Yeah.
It could be something from your past life, like a vow,
Oh yeah, I have
a bargain, a curse, anything.
well, I had to remove some of that stuff because I was a monk in a past life, and I'm still carrying those energies in this life, where everything has to be of service, so everything's free, just everything is of service, and I'm not allowed to have these things. So I did
Oh,
loads
yeah.
of work on that, but maybe I am carrying some still.
There might be another life with something else in it.
Oh, well, I'll probably never manifest anything then, because I've had hundreds.
But you have manifested stuff
Yeah.
and then it's gone. So maybe it's like you have to show people over and over and over again how quickly you can manifest something if you want to.
But maybe what you're manifesting is, I can manifest things easily, but I can lose them easily too.
Yeah.
And that's what your manifestation is that you can easily lose it too, and that's why you keep on losing it.
I just really don't know. I've got no idea. I keep
Well,
trying. I never give up. I always keep trying, and then I'll do like some past life karma work and things like that. But I just don't know why it goes.
Well,
No idea.
we'll all keep thinking about it, and let
We'll
you
all
know.
we'll all keep thinking about it. You stop thinking about the fact that it disappears, because
Yeah.
that's probably sending out
mean-
the order. Take it away again.
Yeah.
I mean, when I did do my Akashic thing, my manifestation power wasn't that high actually.
What
For
was
be
it?
manifesting 5 things, it wasn't awfully high. So I don't know
So
how that
that needs getting higher then, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I did all of those things that you sent.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And we're gonna check them again, aren't we, in your session
Yeah.
that you've booked in June.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, that is. I mean, you've probably already done this, Lady Ginny, because I know everything that you do is just sit in silence and ask your guides why it keeps happening. I bet you've already done that, have you?
I don't get everything that I do is just really elusive. It's like I'm not allowed to have the answers.
Go back to the library, go ring the bell again,
Mm. Yeah.
demand an answer.
Yeah. Right, we're going to have to crack on with the activation now because it's solar eclipse
Well,
is
thanks
happening.
for your thoughts. I'll ponder on them. Thank you.
Yes, thanks everybody. So this is only going to be 5 to 10 minutes, and I've put crystal grid activation, but I realise some of you haven't done a crystal grid this evening. So if you haven't done a crystal grid, just think of the things that you want to manifest. And what we're going to do is visualize them, but also either say out loud or in your head what you want to manifest as well. So just get yourself eyes closed, starting to relax. Okay, so we've got all this powerful energy coming in now. So just connecting with our higher selves. Feeling that God spark thread going up from inside of us up to source. And top of my head's buzzing. So this is all this solar eclipse energy coming in now, so you can probably feel it as well. And just before we get going, just to connect the energy of all of us that are on this call, and if you're listening to this on the recording, just place your hands on your heart and imagine that we're all connecting our heart chakras together, and we're all sat in a circle, connecting all of our hearts to one another now, and just connecting this energy. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing a shape. It's like a beehive shape. I don't know if anybody else got that as I saw that. It's still there. So all of the, is it a hexagon? Lots of hexagons all together like a beehive. So that's interesting. So yeah, we're all connected now through our heart chakras. And we want to now call in these new moon energies, this solar eclipse energy, the Beltane energy, the energy of Venus and Neptune. Calling all of that energy in now. But at the same time, with all of that high energy, making sure as well that we're tethered into the earth through our root chakras, because this type of energy is taking us, lifting us off. So making sure we're rooted into the earth. Okay. So we ask that this energy and this light that's coming into our little circle tonight is directed into any crystal grids that we've created. And that we ask that this energy is used in love and light for the highest good of all. And as we do that, we know that everything in our lives at the moment is a gift and a blessing. And we are in gratitude in this moment for everything that's in our life. And we're being reminded that we're creators of all things and everything. We're divine creators. And again, anything that we're manifesting tonight is in alignment with our highest good. and everyone else's highest good. And our infinite birthright is abundance. That is our birthright. And now I'd like you to think about the things that you want to manifest during this powerful energy portal. So I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes silence now, where you're going to think about those things you want to manifest, but also envision them with your third eye. So we're going to go into a couple of minutes silence. And just coming out of that silence, we're now going to either verbalize out loud or say in your mind actually what it is you want to manifest. So we're actually going to put our requests in. So I will read mine out loud. You can hear what I'm saying. So I'm now verbalizing into the crystal grid and into the universe my 3 things. I am in control of my eating for my highest good, and so it is. I am going to sleep better for my highest good, and so it is. And I'm going to learn to manage incoming energies better for my highest good, and so it is. And I feel at this moment that I want to put my candle out, so I'm just going to do that. And now we're going to say, thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is. And there we go. I don't know about anybody else, but the energies for me were crazy there. My crown chakra was going mental. just before we end, you'll be feeling this solar eclipse energies. I can't remember what date the portal's open to, but I think it's 3 or 4 weeks. So bear in mind, you'll be needing to ground those energies. Just finally, Sharon and I wanted to let you know about our next webinar, which will be on the next new moon, Tuesday, May the 30th. And we think what everybody needs help with at the moment is dealing with energies. Because this week with the solar eclipse messed me up big time.
Mm.
And we think that would be really beneficial for people to know about that. And the other thing is, these energies compared to 7 years ago were not as intense as they are now. And they're just going to get more intense because we're being prepared for a major quantum leap. So we do need to learn how to deal with things like retrogrades. You just feel into the retrograde, don't you? And don't be scared of it. But Schumann resonance used to be 7.83 hertz 7 years ago. Yesterday, it was at 231 hertz. It's just getting higher and higher and higher. So how do we integrate these energies into our human bodies and cope with them and not have mini meltdowns? So Sharon's going to talk about what crystals are good for that. And I'm just going to tune in to my guides and get some advice off them. But those are the symptoms that people usually get on the right there with all of these things. You probably recognize some of them. So that'll be our next one. We do one every month. So just dip in whenever you feel like it. Now, you're going to get a recording of this on an email and a PDF. So make sure you download the PDF and use it, because Sharon and I have put loads of effort into it. It's got all of the information that you need to build these grids. It's got the abundance exercise in it. Feel free to share it with other people. So don't just discard your email. Make sure you use that PDF because it will be really helpful to you. And that is it. So any questions?
We've got one question from Pragna. She said, my head feels heavy. And I think it's that connecting to put our energies together. I know we're not physically together, but we've connected our energies together, and there is so much energy coming in as well. It's probably a sign where you need to ground and sleep and drink water. That's what I feel.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe I should have done a disconnection, actually, thinking about it. So we'll just do that quickly, otherwise we're still going to be energetically connected to each other. So let's just put our hands on our heart. And we're in gratitude for everything that we've been given tonight. But we're now just going to end this session by disconnecting from those energies and disconnecting from each other, coming back into our own sovereignty and our own space. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good reminder there for doing that. We probably wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight if we'd not done that. So anything else off anybody?
I just want to say happy anniversary to you and Gary.
Oh yeah, that completely escaped my mind. Yeah, we have celebrated today, don't worry. We've been out for a walk and had a nice lunch. But it probably was shattered, so I don't think there'll be anything. That sounds so dodgy, but I don't mean it to sound dodgy. There probably won't be anything happening after this webinar. Right, okay, if there's no more questions, I'll let you go. Keep your eye out for your email, and big thanks for everybody joining us tonight. I've really enjoyed that.
That was really good.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Really good. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening or day.
Answers on a postcard about any other things that you can think of.
We will have a think for you, Lady Ginny, no problem.
The ice will find the answer for fire.
On a postcard. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye,
That was really
everyone.
enjoyable.
Thanks,
I enjoyed
everyone.
that.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Kayla's just put, I've just seen what you've put.
Honestly, if
Other
there's a
things-
tone, it can go there. It's fine.
Yeah, it's Beltane, I suppose it is a good time for it.
There's a question from Pragna. What does the abundance number mean that was given? So that's basically
right,
the
yeah.
amount of different number of things that you can manifest in one moment, like at one time. So you can have 4 different, or have whatever your number was, you can have that number of things going to manifest
Okay.
all at the same time.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
No problem. Thank
Can
you.
I?
Bye.
Can I?
Bye.
Because I've done this in one place and I haven't got it on a tray. Can I take it apart with the intention of keeping it together and putting it back the same way? Can I do that to move it to something like a tray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Show me what.
Is
Show
it
me
still going to
your.
work?
for sure.
Show
Yeah.
me your grid, Kaylee. I
Yeah,
want to see
and
it.
then just
It's on the
activate
top.
it again after.
So
Oh,
just
right.
go through it again, just reactivate it, re-intentions, and
Yeah, just place it
In
and
fact,
then
I'll
was
send
gonna
you a
say-
picture.
I was going to say if everybody could put the pictures in my Libra Light group or Spiritual Alchemist, it would be great to see them.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's got a nice shiny bit of pyrite in the middle. It's nice.
Lovely. I'll put a picture
Yeah.
of mine in.
love it.
Okay. Thank you, ladies.
All right.
It's been amazing. I've learned so much tonight. It's been amazing.
No problem. I'll see you tomorrow on your tarot course.
Yes, you will.
All right. See you. Bye, Brenda.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
They're
I
gone.
can see you close up now. You look gorgeous, as usual.
Oh, thanks.
Let me stop the
something on
recording
my
soon.
face.